Hello, my name's Pearman and I'm going to be presenting my FMP pitch. My aims for this project is to learn new modelling skills within 3ds Max, as well as create my own high-resolution seamless textures within Photoshop. I would like to explore game engines, and I want to create an impactful piece which is unique and isn't explored that often. This is my synopsis, and I'm going to be researching into a few different themes within this FMP pitch. That is conflict, encounters, technology, and perception. For my final piece, I would like to create an animation or vertical slice, and if I create a vertical slice, I would like to create it within Unreal Engine, which is a game engine. I'm planning on challenging myself with learning new skills within Unreal Engine, as it's a new engine to me, as I've worked in it briefly prior. And I've learned from previous units I am very weak within rigging and skinning in 3ds Max, so I'm going to try and stay away from that and use the default characters within Unreal. I'm also extremely skilled in 3ds Max creating models and other assets, which will then be imported into my vertical slice if I decide to do that. This is one of my maps on encounters, and during my research of encounters I found an article from 2010 from the BBC called A Real Good Samaritan. This encounter was with a conductor of a train. He was collecting tickets, and during collecting the tickets he noticed a man was crying, and he asked what was wrong, and this encounter initially was rude, and he didn't want to speak about his problems, but eventually he spoke about them, and the conductor held the next train so he could take the next train home and experience a conflict at home. This is my second mind map on technology, and here's my research on technology. There are 3.2 billion people in the world who have access to technology at this moment in time, and that number could increase significantly as 2 million people a day gain access to a smartphone. These people have access to news immediately, which can perception is my next theme, and here's my research. Perception is defined as being the ability to hear or become aware of something through senses. This can affect multiple people in numerous different ways, such as people with autism wouldn't be able to perceive a situation the same as someone who doesn't, as well as someone who has a colour deficiency who can't see certain colours, which I've demonstrated through pictures at the bottom. And then lastly I researched into conflict, and here I found some statistics showing people aged over 65 in the UK feel chronically lonely most or all the time, and the second loneliest group in the UK are people aged 21 to 35. 1 in 4 girls as well in the UK are depressed by the age of 14, which shows there is a disconnect in society. And here's my research. Prior to this unit, I've had recent trips to London, which we went to the V&A, the Natural History Museum, and the Science Museum. I've also got previous knowledge within 3ds Max, Photoshop, and Premiere. And in the future, I'm planning on gathering information through primary research, questionnaires, and other relevant and helpful ways, like interviews. And secondary research I'll be doing conducting through YouTube, books, online, and other online reputable sources. And so far I'm deciding to create a vertical slice for my final piece, as it's a new skill and it's challenging and it could get me a better grade. As well, I think I'm going to research deeper into conflict, as there is a serious disconnect within society. Here's some of my experimentation work within Unreal Engine. At the top you can see post-process on, and at the bottom post-process off. This shows knowledge of game engines. Here is a blueprint which you have to create to create enemies to shoot and move. And here's an example of me. Not working. Here's a blueprint for rippled water to create an effect within a game. And this uses normal maps as well as just color to create ripples in water. And I'll show this example, but it's not working. Here is a island I created using height maps, and this helped learn a new skill. So, with my target audience, it's going to be engaging for all genders and ages. However, I think I'm probably going to stick towards aiming my final piece at teenagers to early adults. I'm going to need 3ds Max to create my models, as well as possibly animations. I'm going to use a plethora of Adobe programs to assist me in creating concept art, as well as textures and developed work, and possibly concept art. And I'm going to need access to Unreal Engine if I'm going to create a vertical slice. I'm also going to need a dedicated sketchbook for all my sketches and developing and annotations and all my mind maps. Here are my influences so far, and you can see there's perception photos, and they show how you can perceive a situation differently. So 3, as well as 6 and 9. From different angles, you can see different numbers. Technology has also been in here, as it has such a powerful impact on today's society. And you can see here is an image created in Unreal Engine, which has created a goal which I want to create something similar. Potential health and safety hazards, just general class room safety procedures. Running out of storage on USBs, I'm going to have a dedicated hard drive to my FMP, as well as losing, working, corrupting. So I'm going to make sure I keep daily backups of all my work. As well, time management, not making deadlines, which could be a problem. Here's my project schedule.
Any questions? No? Thank you, Peter.